Hello everyone, this is Mark Major at the Action Figuratorium, and today I'm going to be doing another episode of a show I like to call Catch and Release, in which I go through 10 items, yes 10 items, of mine from my personal stash that I am putting up for sale on eBay, and in some cases they're already up for sale. You just need to know they're there so you can come and get them. This is Catch and Release. Everybody strap on the leather for this. Hold on tight. All right, so a couple things regarding the Catch and Release show. First thing is my eBay username is CoolBots if you're just trying to find these auctions through me, or if you want to follow me, follow things I post for sale, mainly toys, but sometimes I get some old antique stuff from estate sales that, they slide in there. That's under the CoolBots with a Z eBay user ID. Of course, you can always subscribe to this channel, and every month when I put up some new stuff for sale, you'll get an episode much like the one you're watching now. Okay. Second thing, these are Dutch auctions. What does that mean? That means if it doesn't sell after a certain amount of time, maybe a week, a couple weeks, month, etc., whatever, you kind of feel these out by how many views, that sort of thing. What I do is I drop the price. So let's say I put it up for $30 and everyone's like, nah, no way. Well, all of a sudden, a couple weeks go by, it's $25. You're like, well, maybe, and then it's $20. And you're like, how fast can you get it? You tell me. All right, last thing. If you watch the show and you end up buying an item from me, whether it's featured in the show or not, someone watches the show and you buy something of mine, let me know in the transaction notes on eBay. You're like, hey Mark, I watched the show, thanks, that kind of thing. Doesn't need to be anything detailed. And I will make sure you get with your item a very special tchotchke. Now a tchotchke can be anything from like a, keychain to the pen, fingernail clippers, that kind of thing. But I'm going to make it very kind of special and cool for you, the toy collector. So, as they say, let's jump into our 10 items. Here we go. Switching over desktop view. Everyone likes it when I go small in the corner. Ah, there we are, small in the corner. So first thing, this. Does anyone know what this is? This is from the Droid Depot at Galaxy's Edge Star Wars amusement park add-on. They have a kind of little souvenir shop. You go through there and you can buy some stuff. The Droid Depot, build a droid. Well, this is the big giant kind of, it's like a big kind of... it's almost like a USB speaker size thing. It's an astromech and it's remote controlled, and it's pretty cool. I turned it on, it comes on, it beeps, it's got a personality chip inside of it. It's very cool, black and silver, almost kind of like the colors of the original band Kiss. If anybody remembers Kiss in the original colors when they were just black and silver. It's kind of like a Kiss droid is what I think of this. I don't have the remote for it, but you can, if you have remotes and you're looking for more of these droids, this is the one to get because it looks like early Kiss. All right, this guy is currently up there for about $125. At some point, I'm going to start dropping the price, and I think this is a $100 shoe-in. All right, let's move on to item number 9. Now, this is almost like someone selling tchotchkes. These are a couple of Paw Patrol sort of cheap, lightweight sort of kids' cars to push around. I just needed to fill out 10 items, and this is one of the things. These are actually up for sale already, so is the astromech. I think this is $10, and I'm pretty sure if you bought the astromech, I may just throw these in for you and cancel this auction and say you are the winner of both. All right, this thing, right, back when toys were made in the United States, it's a long time ago, is plastic, which is even more surprising. This is a Fisher-Price. It's a safari Jeep. It's actually the original set. It had a little wagon it pulled, and then there's a cage with a lion that goes in it. Very sort of cool if you just wanted some kind of a cool centerpiece or something neat to look on your shelf, some kind of old Americana toy. And of course, you could stuff some cool stuff in the the little back of the Jeep there and make a cool display for something. Anyways, $15 for this, and if you are slow and someone comes along and buys it, no worries. There is a second one, a backup one, ready to go up for sale immediately when this one sells. Moving on, this kind of should be the highlight of the show, but we're just going to announce it here. This is a Kenner 1988 RoboCop Robo 1 police car and RoboCop figure. And let me tell you something, this car is in absolute premium condition. So is the figure. Here is how I acquired it. Here's the deal. I am doing some kit bashing with some Leonard action figures, little 4-inch guys, and I'm making a set of Space Cops. The Space Cops need some type of Space Cop car, and so I saw this for sale at the local antique mall down the street from me, and I said, oh, that'd be kind of cool. I picked it up. Well, actually wasn't that cheap, but, you know, I did buy it at an antique mall prices. And when I got it back and looked at it closely, right, I realized this thing is in totally mint condition. And my plan was to repaint and glue some stuff on and add some LED lights, and that would totally destroy this thing, which is absolutely immaculate, complete, with the guy. And the guy looks good sitting in it. So there's no way I can destroy this thing. I'm just going to put it up. The first person that comes up with $100, free shipping, gets it. I actually think it's worth more when you see the condition of it and the availability of this kind of stuff. But let's be realistic, people. Let's just be kind of realistic on what people's money limits are. So let's move on to this total opposite kind of crap. I bought a bag of Star Wars action figures, a lot of them, and there was just some crap in the bottom. These two Funkos, one's a Funko Darth Vader, and the other one's a Funko Clone Trooper bobblehead. And together they make about $12. So if this is something you're into, you're like, yeah, I collect Funko. If you buy this and you say, hey, I bought your Funkos for $12, I watched the show, I'm going to throw in another Funko for you. I'm just going to reach in blind and grab one out of the bag and huck it. I don't even know which one's going to be. I'm not going to look. I'm just going to throw it in. That's what you get. That's your tchotchke. That's almost punishment. Okay, this is what people have been waiting for. Get lined up for this. If you are a cat who is collecting Star Wars big cool pieces like the that giant AT-AT, you'll know that it came with a whole bunch of stuff, including snow speeder bikes, right? And here are a couple of them to help complete the set of that. And I don't know what the third one is from, which set or figure set, display set, or whatever, toy set it came from. But here's 3 snow speeder bikes. And so we're going to do $10 each plus the shipping. Gets you about $35 to $40 for these guys. And if you're like, yeah, that's kind of high, you just wait. Dutch auction, price goes down. Eventually, you get it. Special tchotchke. And that would come with a very special tchotchke. I'd make sure you got something very Hothian for it. All right, this. Some of you have been waiting for this. Others of you have not been waiting for this. If you've not been waiting for this, you should skip. But for those of you who've been waiting, check this out. It's a diorama. Now, you're thinking it looks cool from there, but exactly what scale is it? Well, it's not a scale that anybody wants. This is, I believe from putting a car on the, whatever that thing is that lifts the car up, and looking at the size of the cars, etc., and comparing some other scales like the Playmobil, I believe it's like about a 1/32 scale, and that's going to cause some discomfort, maybe some alarm. Definitely could see it disturbing some people who really were looking for a cool garage. I guess, you know, if you could put your Mezco Mezit, your grub in, you can make a whole set of guys with, I don't know. Anyways, there's this, and I think $20. Of note, though, I believe it does take batteries, and I believe it has lights. It might have sounds, but I think it's lights is what it's got, and it did work. You can see the switch right here, and you can see a button to turn it on. And I think there's lights in the truss, something like that. But it's a cool little diorama, believe it or not. I was just kind of goofing on it. But yeah, probably not the scale you're looking for, but maybe you can make it work. All right, we're almost done. We've got 3 more to go. And you have to admit, if you've been watching the catch and release show over the last couple years since I've started doing them, it's getting pretty good. The auctions are getting pretty good. And it may be time to jump in and pick something up and expect that special tchotchke. Here we go. This guy. Does anybody remember the Godzilla franchise? Probably not. You probably don't know anything about Godzilla. Well, there was more than just Godzilla. There was multiple monsters that were added to the franchise, and they all got toys, and this is one of them. This is called Rodan. I don't remember the year on it, but it looks kind of like a kind of pterodactyl-y sort of creature. And the story on this is I actually have 2 of these, and I am getting rid of one of them. One I picked up, I bought a bag of dinosaurs from the thrift store, and this was just jammed in there. And the other one, the old lady found at the Goodwill bins where it's by weight, and she threw it in the bag, and I think it comes out to about the same. So I got 2. I'm going to sell this one off, and I'm not sure what this thing goes for, what the price is, but it's about probably like $10. I mean, you know, be realistic. It's kind of a bat with a dinosaur head. All right, nearing the end, closing in on real greatness. Does anybody remember Playmobil? Okay. So probably the biggest collectible toy set thing out there, I'm going to say, is Lego, which I do not touch or dabble in. It's too much. It's too confusing for me. It's freaks me out. It's weird, and it's also kind of small. But Playmobil, on the other hand, was actually, I think, the very, 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 very first toys I ever had was the Playmobil Cowboy and Indian set. My folks got me in the 70s. I remember playing with those on the dining room table, and so I've been a big fan of Playmobil ever since. But here's the thing about Playmobil: it's a European brand, it's a European market. Most of the toys go to Europe. A very small quantity ends up for sale here in the United States, and they're only in kind of weird boutique toy stores. Online, of course, while supplies last. There's probably some e-tailers that sell it, but Playmobil is a little bit more difficult to get than you think. Here's a couple of Playmobil Jeeps. And as you can tell, they went to some kind of sort of horse ranger set, or sets, I should say. And the Jeeps roll. They have all 4 wheels. They're in good condition that way, but they're missing a lot of other pieces, as you can tell. So these are going to be something for a Playmobil guy who's looking to maybe kit bash, or you're just collecting as much Playmobil of all kind, that kind of thing. I think we're going to try to do about 15 for the pair, because it's going to be kind of heavy to ship. It's going to be, it's going to cost some real money. All right, here we go. Last item. Is this the best thing I have for sale? It may be. It depends. Depends how you feel about Marvel's The Storm. Do people call her The Storm, or do they just call her Storm? I like saying The Storm. I think The Storm is kind of cool. Anyways, these are 8-inch The Storm Marvel action figures, and they're in the cool sort of white jumpsuit. With the cool white eyes, white hair. I think these are cool figures. The only problem with these guys is that their stretch clothes their white clothes are a bit dirty. These are both secondhand used thrift store rescues. If I didn't buy these, they would end up in the trash, especially since one came from the bins where it's the last time to buy the stuff before it really goes to a landfill. These really are actual. Despite what I say, these are actual rescues. These would both be a landfill if it were not for me. And so all I'm looking for is about $15-20 each, simply to get rid of them. I have too much stuff, and these things are making the cutting room floor. Now, I saw somebody selling just the head from these guys for $12 for just the head. And then they had the body without the head, but with a Black Widow head on it. Clearly the same guy who swapped the heads and is selling one. Is trying to get like $25 for the body with the Black Widow head. So here it is in its original form. I have 2 available of the Storm. The garments are dirty. Could you take the garments off and wash them? Probably could. Could that maybe possibly make them more dirty? Yeah, it could ruin them. Who knows? I don't know. Not a big deal. They're just action figures with cloth goods. But The heads are extremely cool. The hair is extremely cool. It's actually one of the cooler figures. I have some of the smaller Marvel Legends, the 3.75 guys, and I have Secret Wars, the Storm with the Mohawk, one of my favorite characters, so much so that I went and I got the Mini-Mates version with the Mohawk. And I know that this is a character worth having. That's why I have 2 of them, I guess. And soon they're going to be in your possession if weather permits. So that's it for all 10 items this January 2024. Catch and release. Half the stuff is on eBay already. The other stuff is going up soon. When it gets there, you'll let me know. All right, everybody, stay charged.